All right. So I decided to play Mekk-Knight Crawler for our little thing this year. I got roasted, but it's okay because I'm undefeated in Swiss, and I think I built my deck almost perfectly, and I'll explain what was wrong with it as we go. But the main deck's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, this card is kind of good. Oh, also shout out to DZ and shout out to Nathan. He gave me power. He's the goat. He's the boy. And then like you kind of just have to max out on. Oh, ha! Yeah, max out on the good ones. Always do purple first. That's what you learn. You always do purple first. This might have been one of the mistakes. I should have played 2 indigo. It only came up once, but the time it came up, I lost. I ended up winning the match, so it didn't matter. But yeah, you just need more names, so you run these ones. I then played. Oh, this is controversial. Kind of, not really. I played the World Chalice instead of the World Armor. 90% of the time, the World Armor you don't need. If you're setting Succession, the only time you need it is you send the World Armor to set the Succession, and then you summon back the World Armor to search. But 90% of the time, you'd rather set Secret or the Memory, or in my deck, the Crawler stuff, because for the memes, right? So then this gives you a follow-up play the next turn, and it's just better. So that's why I played that. This is another mistake. 3 Ash was okay. I didn't see it a lot. But this was the worst hand trap in my deck. Every single time I saw this card, it was bad. Even if I was going second and they had a normal summon, it was just the worst hand trap in the entire thing. I would either cut this or put it down to 2 if I needed hand traps. But in contrast, I think that Ogre was by far the best hand trap in my deck. I think there's a lot of value in the 6th card being useful. And drawing this for your 6th card isn't really that bad, especially against Plunder and against Frog. I did that against Jacob multiple times, hitting Toad. I did it against like a Borreload. And I think this card forces my opponent into an awkward position that they're not normally in, and it forces them to make decisions that are suboptimal. And I think it did that today, and I wish I played 3 of it. But it was good at 2, and I drew it when I needed to on occasion. And then for final going second cards, I played 4 Kaijus. I felt that this was a correct number because you're playing Mekk-Knights, so they help set up columns. This is searchable off of Deuce X, so you play it, and then I wanted big ones, I wanted to play another big one just because he's thick and he looks really good. And yeah, these were pretty good all day. They're easy to side out too, so it made it easy. And then 4 Crawlers, baby! Played 2 Deuce X and the Axon and the Spine. These are utility just to pop. I summoned this one twice. I didn't summon this guy. He's super situational though, so they're good normal summons to make like Almirage and then go in, but this is like the main guy. He's really good. I found also that just setting him as a presence on board is enough. A lot of times people get caught up on the set Deuce X and try to play around it, and then if you have a secret or something, you force them to make a play to try to out this, and then you negate that and you win. So that happened a lot today. And then that's it for the monsters. And then 3 Memory. It's just another copy of Blue Sky or Purple, basically. Pretty self-explanatory. I played 2 Survivor. Basically just adds an excavate top 5 cards. You add a World Legacy card or Crawler. It's basically just to dig for a World Legacy card. And it fills up your graveyard, which is important for like summoning Lib in awkward situations or sending a Mind Meld so you like have stuff to do. And then I played 2 Desires. 2 Desires is correct, never play 3. 2 Dark Ruler. If I had drawn this card more, I probably just wouldn't have dropped a game all day. But you know, that's how it goes, right? I drew this card against Frog, against Jacob.
Suck it.
And then the last 2 spells in my deck are the Succession, obviously, because it's Monster Reborn. And then this was like a late edition. I thought it was good. I never actually recycled any Mekk-Knights because like I never wanted to recycle a purple that was coming back. But the trap effect negation came up against Frog, which is cool. And it's a World Legacy card, so it just fits with the engine, discarding it off of Morningstar and stuff. Definitely would play it again. And then the trap lineup's pretty standard. 2 secret, 2 mind meld, and a pawns. I wasn't playing 2 of this until this morning, because Trevor had one and it worked out. I was just playing 1. You only really need 1, but 2 did come up today, so I'm glad I had the second. This is good at 2 because if you draw, it's not the worst. This is just to flip the deuce X. I do this card like 3 times a day, and I wanted to shoot myself in the face. So that's it for the main deck. It's 45. Terrible deck build. Absolutely it's so bad. But Desires is fire, so that's why that's okay. I'm okay with playing over 40 if I play Desires. But extra deck is literally I just summoned these ones. Probably the best extra deck monster ever. I miss Ib. This is just a worse Ib. Are easier to make though, and this card's really good. But there's some situations when like one or the other's better, but you're forced into one based on the game state, and I didn't like that very much. And then these were the only other ones that I summoned really for Link 2s.
The Galatea.
The Galatea, and then into Dingirsu, just for removal. This deck has so much removal, it's insane. And it's all non-targeting, non-destruction, which is just fun. And then I summon this sometimes. It's just really hard to out for some decks. 3k is big, and if it can't be targeted or destroyed, they just don't know what to do. And then it can also start your engine by summoning from deck. I summoned it like twice. It's pretty good. And then stuff I barely summoned. This is for the Dingirsu token to go into like Galatea because you need effect monsters. This is just for normal summons. I didn't summon this. I summoned this once, and I didn't summon either of these, but they came up. I wanted to play Wake.
That's a lie. You summoned Borlsar against me.
Oh yeah, because I just
the game.
yeah I did like 20,000 damage, so it was fun. But I wanted to play Waking the Dragon really bad because the best side deck against me is back row removal. If you can't play with Secret, then you just have big bodies on board, and it's a lot easier to deal with. So Waking the Dragon is crazy because you can just like summon. What's the one that you can't summon monsters?
Lost Warrior from another planet.
Yeah, that one, and then you can just purple is not a summon, so you can just get purple and you can get searches and then searches and then searches, and then you have like a. It's just so crazy. But I didn't think anyone would side back row against me, so I didn't do it. But yeah, I wouldn't. The only thing I change about my main deck is the Veilers. I think it's the worst card in the game, so I would probably add a 3rd ogre and then play.
What the? Up for debate and discussion.
I would consider playing DD Crow in the main.
That's just wrong.
But then side deck.
Would you play Imperm if you had it?
Oh yeah. Actually, Imperm.
And that would fix any.
Yeah. Imperm is the better, definitely. But I should. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't play it. This was one of the only going second cards I ran because I just wanted it against decks where it was just free, and the times I drew it, it was really good. Okay, so this card, I said this card was super bad.
This man had a whole discussion with me about why this card was terrible in our format, and then he runs it.
So here's the thing. This card's trash, but I made the evaluation that it was really impactful in the matchups that my deck was weakest against. And so this was specifically for Trevor and Nathan. I started it against Jack, and he like overlaid exactly 5 times, but then the token had like 10,000 attack, and I couldn't out it. But it was good.
I wanted that token.
That's awesome.
And so yeah, in theory, this should have been Slumbers. They were called by the Graves until the last night. Because, well, I'll just explain the rest of my side deck. Because the rest of my side deck is the reason why I went undefeated in Swiss. Not those cards. Actually, I'll just talk about these cards first. So, Red Reboot. Bro, this man says Nibiru and Red Reboot are trash and then plays both? Here's the thing.
Dude, he's so...
Red
I didn't even play 3.
So Red Reboot is a card that is really bad if you can't game your opponent. or have a way to like get rid of the card, their best back row, right? So Trevor wanted me to play Trisbania, but I don't play bad cards, so I didn't want to play it.
There we go.
And
and then again, plays Red Reboot.
That's the worst card.
So Red Reboot, because of this card, I felt comfortable playing it because you know where their two most impactful cards are, and you can set up columns with key so they can't activate cards. Like Jacob activated a judgment in the column of my Mekk-Knight, and it felt really good. So like that's what I wanted to do. So I never drew this against Jacob, but it was nice that I didn't need it because if I had it in my hand, I probably would have been conflicted on even activating it because I don't like it as a card. But I felt like I had to play it in that manner. So
He respects the deck.
Yeah,
I like it,
yeah. And then combo with that, I played 2 Galaxy Cyclone. The only reason for this is you can set it to set up your columns. And I thought Jacob was going to play 15 Floodgates, so I thought that this was going to be a better card. But I'm glad he didn't, but it was there in case. It's also good against Plunder, which I did, but I was already losing, so it didn't matter. So this card was good, though. Okay, and then this is the part of the side deck that literally won me an insane amount of games. 2 Trap Trick, the 3 different Dimension Ground, and then 2 Paleo Dynamiscus. I don't know if I said that right, but yeah, these cards are all insane. Basically, different Dimension Ground. I knew from the start that I wanted to play this card because if your opponent is smart, they'll make you go first, right? Because you're playing Mekk-Knight and you just pass. But if you open this card, it gives you an extra turn. And if you have an extra turn in Mekk-Knight after going first, you can usually just start playing. And this card was to get that card, and then this card was double utility of just removal, and also like if you hit it off Survivor or it gets engraved or you have to discard it, it's link fodder. I drew this card more than this card, honestly, and this was insane. The only time that I opened Trap Trick, I banished all of these off Desires. So it was kind of a feels bad. I think I ended up losing that game for sure. Because I think off Desires, I drew Desires and another Deus Ex. So probably the worst draws on the planet. I don't have Aiden's luck drawing Whitebeard golden hair every freaking duel. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. But overall, I think the deck performed really well. I wouldn't change a whole lot. I would probably play more Crawler Monsters next time. Definitely a mistake. I mean, Crawler Monsters are the best cards in the game. So I would have probably just played a pure list because the Mekk-Knights didn't really do anything for me. Probably the worst cards in my deck, honestly. Moving forward, I'll probably just play a flip deck.
Yeah, I got some prediction princesses for you though.
Swarm of Scarabs,
Very good.
Swarm of Locusts.
All right.
2 best.
Any final things you want to say about your deck?
I didn't want to go undefeated because I know for a fact the person that goes undefeated never wins in the finals. And lo and behold, to be fair, if I would have side decked differently in the finals, I probably win. But I didn't, so I can't even say that. So
Find the best deck.
yeah, Plunder was definitely the best deck, but I felt that my deck was best prepared for our format. And so that's the deck profile, baby.
All right.
It's a
Very
wrap.
good.